Bibliophiles of the internet, my name's Adriana and today I'm here to share with you my November and December book haul. The first two books I got in November I got from my best friend Ivan, who now goes by Dova Queer on the interwebs, and the first book he got me was this hardback edition of Uprooted by Naomi Novik. So a while back Ivan had this incredible idea that we should exchange our favorite books. But the idea was not just to send off new unread books, but that we should read them first, annotate the crap out of them, personalize them, use a bunch of sticky notes and stickers and whatever else, and then mail them off. So this is Ivan's pick. He actually read through this copy himself and left me a ton of goodies on the inside. We actually plan to reread this book in the near future, and when we do, I will definitely be reading it from this edition. And then as a birthday gift, he also sent along the first volume of Sunstone by Stephen Sajic. This is a queer comic. It's actually like a BDSM love story about a sub who finds her perfect dom and vice versa. It's supposed to be a really honest, genuine exploration of their relationship, not only in the bedroom but outside of it as well. I know Ivan loved it and I've heard nothing but fantastic reviews. Then to round out my second collection of this trilogy, I finally got the Australian edition of King's Rising by C.S. Pacat. As many of you know, I reread the first two books in this trilogy with Ivan during this past year, and all I can say is that I really hope we get the chance to read this one again soon. All at once it's been too long and it hasn't been nearly long enough. Then, for really no apparent reason, I got Conrad's Fate by Diana Wynne Jones. This is the second book in her Crestomancy series, which begins with the lives of Christopher Chant, a book that, funnily enough, I have started, gotten over halfway through, and have not finished yet. But once I do, I have the second book, so it's all good. This one's about a young man named Conrad who's plagued with a horrible case of bad karma, so he disguises himself and journeys to a nearby fortress which has power over his entire town to see what's going on. And the last book I got in November was a long-standing pre-order, and that was Of Fire and Stars by Audrey Coulthurst. This is Own Voices Queer Lit. It's a fantasy story about a princess who is betrothed to the prince of a neighboring kingdom, and when she journeys there to meet him, she falls in love with his sister. So it's a romance between two princesses, and it's everything I've ever wanted. Moving on to the December books, the first one I got is Gives Light by Rose Christo. This purchase is actually the result of a genuine, heartfelt, and very thoughtful recommendation I received in the comments of my last recommendations video. Gives Light is Own Voices. It's both queer lit and native fiction. It's about a boy named Skylar whose mother was killed when he was 5 years old, and now his dad has mysteriously disappeared as well, so he's being sent to live with his grandmother on an Indian reservation in Arizona. I read a sample of this book right away and I just immediately connected with it so much, to the point where it just shot to the top of my reading list in 2017. Then I got an early Christmas gift from my friend Lily over at Lilypad, who has always been much too kind to me, and she gave me The Blackthorn Key by Kevin Sands. This is a middle grade adventure story about a character named Christopher who is the apprentice to an apothecary, and apparently their practice is being threatened by a mysterious cult and a string of murders. I don't know too much else about the story besides that there's a lot of puzzle solving and code cracking and the like, so I'm very curious to see what it's all about. Then around the same time, courtesy of Lourdes from Chapters We Love, I also got an arc of The Inexplicable Logic of My Life by Benjamin Elera Sainz. I'm actually currently reading this one. I'm over halfway through and I just can't believe I get to say that. The story is about Sal, who's been adopted, and his father is gay, and lately he's been experiencing a lot of anger and confusion that's been manifesting itself in very unhealthy or even violent ways. This is really scary for Sal because his father is not that way at all. He's very calm and collected and level-headed, and up until recently Sal took a lot of comfort from the fact that they're pretty much the same. So all of this has Sal thinking a lot about nature versus nurture, and how many of his internal struggles have been inherited and how many have been taught. Needless to say, this book is giving me so much life. Then Book of the Month was having an incredible discount on their subscription, and part of the deal was that you basically get to choose one of their December picks for free. So you know I took advantage of that, and I chose The Sun Is Also a Star by Nicola Yoon. This is Own Voices. It's about a character named Natasha whose entire family is about to be deported back to Jamaica, but just before that happens, she meets and falls for this Korean boy named Daniel, and their lives collide. I actually really enjoyed Nicola Yoon's debut, even though I think it had some noticeable flaws, but regardless, there was so much promise there and such great writing that I've really been anticipating her sophomore release. And the last 2 books I got in December were both Christmas gifts from Ivan, who is just the best human being. And the first book he got me was A Man Called Ove by Frederick Bachman. This story is about a grumpy, misunderstood elderly man whose wife has passed away, and now his life revolves around a very strict routine, but all of that changes when he gets some eccentric new neighbors. Ivan actually read this one recently and he shared so much of it with me. The story itself gave both of us such severe up feelings, and I know it's written beautifully, so I know I'm going to love it. And the second book he got me was The Palace Job by Patrick Weeks. This is another one that Ivan read and loved in 2016. He actually picked this one up because Patrick Weeks is a writer for BioWare, so he's worked on games like Mass Effect and Dragon Age. This story is about Locke, who is a fugitive, and she's planning to steal this priceless elven manuscript that used to belong to her family. So she has to assemble a ragtag magical team of accomplices to help her break into the floating fortress. Again, Ivan has told me so much about this one. I know it's just a really fun, exciting, entertaining heist story with so many incredible characters and a ton of fantastic one-liners, so I'm very much looking forward to it. So those are all the books I got in November and December. In the comments down below, please feel free to share your thoughts on any of them, or let me know what is a new book that you're looking forward to starting in 2017. But that is everything I had for this book haul today. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I will catch you on the flip side of the page. Bye!